How's it going? Dave from Comic Book Investments. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 keys that are heating up. And what do I mean by heating up? I mean that they're trending upwards in price. And we'll go into more detail about why it's going up, should it continue to go up, or will it probably go down. But let's look at these 5 keys that have been heating up recently. All right, first on the list is we got Iron Fist number 14. Now, a 9.4 sold back a month ago on average for $1,030. Now that currently sells for $1,323. That is up 28%. A 9.0 sold on average in December for $900. That's up only 1% to $913. An 8.0 averaged $604 in December, now sells for $751 on average. That's up 24%. And you look at the graph up here, you can kind of see that it went up from the comic boom, started as trending down, had a big dip down, and then has a little uptick at the very end that you can see there. Now, this is the first appearance of Sabretooth. You know, Wolverine's probably arch nemesis, I guess. I'm assuming. Yes. This is a good book, regardless. Good Bronze Age key. Even if it had a little of like this trending down, long run, a year from now, 2 years from now, it's going to be higher than it is today. I'm not too worried about it. There's no real news on what's going on with Sabretooth, like is he getting a TV show, MCU, all that kind of stuff. I mean, he was in the older X-Men movies, but that was about it. So regardless, I still think this is a good buy. I don't really see it dropping much, but if you can find a good deal, pick it up. All right, next we got Captain America 117. This is the first appearance of the Falcon. A 9.2 in December averaged $1,141. That is up 30% to a current average of $1,478. A 7.0 averaged $794 in December. Now it's up 6% to $840. And a 7.0 averaged $516 and now averages $575, up 11%. If you look at the graph, you can see that it went straight up. That had to do with the TV show, and then went down, and now there's a little uptick. Now, I believe this book was actually on one of my older videos of keys dropping, because if you can see by the graph, it was just going down. But now it's slowly turning around. Has it reached its bottom? So here is the thing. We had a huge hype because of the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show. And then he took up the mantle as Captain America. I believe it's said that he's going to be Captain America in Captain America 4, the movie. But what happened is after the show went down, kind of started trending down, then the comic boom kind of had his thing and went down. So it just got really hammered pretty hard. I think this will kind of be finding its footing for a while, but I think this will eventually pop off again when we see more of Anthony Mackie as the Falcon and Captain America, whichever character he's going to be in the end. So I'm not too worried about it in the long run. All right, next we got everyone's favorite comic book, Ultimate Fallout number 4, a 9.8 average $29.40. That is up 11% to $32.50 now. A 9.6 in December averaged $10.10. Now that is up 34% to $13.54. A 9.4 in December averaged $7.39. Now that currently averages $9.81, up 33%. You look at that graph, you can see a huge boom. And then it started dropping, but it didn't really keep dropping too long because it started going up again. Now it's beating its highest highs from during the comic boom. First appearance of Miles Morales as, Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe. This book is a very interesting book for me personally because I never saw it reaching this levels. I'll admit, I always say I've been wrong many times before. I was wrong on this book. I bought this book and I used to pick up copies for like $300, stuff like that. And I bought a bunch. And then when it hit 1,000, I was like, okay, I can't really see this book going too much above $1,000. And I'm talking about like 9.8s and 9.6s. That's what I thought. And so I sold all my copies. I have tons of copies. I held back. And I was like, okay, this kind of peaked, right? And then I found myself literally like 3-4 months later buying copies again at like $1,500 because I'm like, oh man, it's going even higher. It's like after I sold all mine, it just kept on going up, and I'm like, maybe there's more to this. And so I bought more copies, and then I think the highest I ever sold one was like around $3,000, and that's when it started going down again. And I didn't know when I knew this would jump back up eventually. I didn't know how far it would drop. It didn't drop that much. And I didn't know how high it would go back up again, but it's breaking records again. So I think this is a good modern book to, like, it'll end up being like one of those, if you look at like the top 10 most expensive modern books, this will be in there. Now, obviously there's going to be like some variant covers and super like obscure titles that will, command a lot of money, but a book that's readily available and, even though this had like, I think like something like a 90,000 copy print run, there's such a demand for this that it keeps pushing the price higher. Same with like something like a New Mutants 98, high print run, but there's such a demand for, first Deadpool that's pushing it to new heights. All right, moving on. We got Astonishing Tales 25. This is the first appearance of Deathlock. A 9.6 back in December sold for $12.23 on average. Now it averages $13.20. That is up 8%. A 9.0 is up 59% from $4.08 to $6.49, and an 8.5 is up 15% from $400 to now averaging $4.58. You look at the graph up there, you can kind of see Comic Boom going down, shooting back up. Now, this is the first appearance of Deathlock. I'm actually surprised this is as high as it is, but seems to be in a lot of demand. I mean, it is a Bronze Age key. It's from a more obscure title like Astonishing Tales compared to like a Spider-Man book. So there was a smaller run of that compared to a Spider-Man or like a Superman or things like that. So Bronze Age key, I think it's a good buy. Like most of these Bronze Age keys are going to be pretty good buys. They have enough footing where it'll be good long term. Now, is this going to be like shooting straight up to the moon anytime soon? I don't know. Doubtful. But it'll probably just bounce around. But like I said, a year from now, it'll be worth more than it is today. All right, last one on the list. But before I do, if you haven't subscribed already, please think about subscribing. 50% of the people that watch this are subscribed, and the other 50% are not. Interesting stat. But if you're one of those 50% that are subscribed, thank you. And if you aren't, maybe today you'll think about subscribing. All right, let's move on to the last one. Amazing Adventures number 11, First Furry Beast. All right, we got a 9.2 averaging 477, now averaging 589, up 23%. And then look at this number, up 113% for 8.5. Sold on average for $300 in December. Now one sold for $640. Wow. A 7.0 went from 204 to 215, up 5%. If you look at the graph up here, it's just kind of up and down all over the place, things like that. That 113% jump was, a low average the month before, and then just the next month, one selling for a ridiculous price. That's kind of like what happens. It's probably a buy now. Someone's like, I want one, there's none available, and if I have to pay this high price, I will. Simple as that. So I think next month or whenever another, 8.5 sells again, it's probably not going to be that high. Maybe it'll be higher, who knows, but I think that was a bit high for that one. First Furry Beast, Bronze Age, black cover, has that black border. Those are really hard to get in high grade, because usually black covers are. So I still think this is a good book regardless. We're going to see Beastie in, the MCU again. So it's a good book. All right, that will do it. Have a good weekend. And if you're watching this when I release it on Sunday, I hope the Rams have won. Could be wrong. Who knows? I'm betting on the Rams.